Honorable guests, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is truly an honor and a privilege to stand before you today to speak about an issue that is becoming increasingly urgent, our environment, and how we can protect it using one of the most powerful tools of our time, advanced weather prediction technology. Allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Vincentia Prayin. I am deeply passionate about environmental sustainability and commit to the advancement of science and technology for the betterment of our planet. Throughout my work, I have seen how vital accurate weather data is not just for scientific research, but for everyday decision making in community across our nation. Climate change, environmental degradation, and unpredictable weather events are no longer distant concepts, they are realities we face today. From extreme rainfall and floods to extend drought and heat waves, nature has shown us how fragile our ecosystems truly are. But at the same time, technology has evolved rapidly, giving us the ability to monitor, analyze, and predict these events with increasing precision. Today, I want to emphasize how we can leverage this advancement in weather forecasting, not just to safeguard human and property, but to actively preserve and restore our environment. First, why accurate weather prediction matters? Weather prediction is not merely about knowing whether to bring an umbrella or wear a jacket. It is deeply tied to agriculture, forestry, water resource management, disaster mitigation, and biodiversity conservation. For farms, timely forecasts can mean the difference between a bountiful harvest and a total loss. For forest managers, early warning of dry conditions can help prevent wildfires. For coastal communities, accurate storm prediction can save lives. But even more critically, weather data helps us understand the long-term pattern and shift in climate. This pattern guides how we plan urban development, how we conserve water, and how we manage sensitive ecosystem. And two, the power of advanced technology. Thanks to innovations such as satellite remote sensing, AI and machine learning, radio sonde, and IoT-based weather station, our ability to forecast the weather has dramatically improved. Let me give you a few examples. Radiosonde's small device launched into the atmosphere by weather balloons collect real-time data on temperature, humidity, pressure, and wind speed. This vertical profile of the atmosphere is crucial for modeling weather systems. Machine learning algorithm analysis vast datasets from decades of weather record, identifying patterns that humans alone could not detect. This model can predict the likelihood of drought, flash floods, or surf storm week in advance. IoT-enabled environmental sensor can be deployed across rural and urban areas alike, forming a digital network that continues field information to meteorology center. By combining this technology, we can build hyperlocal forecast and early warning system that the more timely, more accurate, and more responsive to change conditions. And then, three, supporting environmental conservation. You may ask, how does better weather prediction help the environment? Let me answer that with one word: Prevention. When we can anticipate adverse weather conditions, we can prevent environmental damage before it happens. For example, preventing soil erosion and flooding. With early rainfall prediction, farms can implement soil protection techniques in advance, redu- reducing runoff and preserving the fertility of the land. Then, protecting forest ecosystem. In regions prone to wildfires, early warning can help authorities clear dry, underbrush, and establish fire breaks before fire starts. Then, safeguarding biodiversity. Change in temperature and rainfall can disturb animal migration and breeding patterns. Accurate climate data allows conservation to take proactive steps to protect vulnerable species. In short, weather prediction is no longer just a scientific assessment, it has become a tool for environmental stewardship. And four, building a culture of collaboration. But technology alone is not enough. We need collaboration between scientists, policymakers, educators, local communities, and international partners. We must invest in public weather education so that people not only receive forecasts but understand their implications. Farms must know how to interpret and use climate advisories. Urban planners must incorporate climate data into infrastructure design. Local government must integrate early warning systems into their disaster management strategies. We must also support open data initiatives and regional meteorological corporates. Weather systems do not respect national borders. Our response must be equally seamless and coordinated. 5. Indonesia's role and responsibility. As an archipelagic country with rich biodiversity and diverse climates, Indonesia stands at a critical juncture. We are both highly vulnerable to climate-related disaster and uniquely positioned to lead in environmental innovation. Our meteorological agencies are already working hard to modernize forecasting system. However, there is more to be done. Expanding the network of weather stations into remote areas, investing in capacity building and training for young climate scientists, partnering with international organizations to adopt best practice, and ensuring the environmental data is accessible to everyone from government minister to grassroots community. This is not just scientific challenge, it is a national priority. 6. Looking ahead, a call to action. As we move forward, we must remember that weather is not just a background element in our life. It is a living system, a force that shapes landscape, ecosystem, and human activity. If we ignore the sign it gives us, we risk catastrophe. But if we listen, if we learn, and if we act wisely, we can build a future that is both sustainable and resilient. Let us harness the power of technology, not just to predict the weather, but to protect our forests, our rivers, our ocean, and our children's future. Let us invest not only in innovation, but in education, collaboration, and environmental responsibility. And let us remember always that the earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you today with a message of hope and responsibility. Technology has given us the tools. Now, we must use them wisely for the sake of our planet and for the generation yet to come. Thanks.